Hey, it's D. It's a brand new episode coming right for you, right on the FTO network. Enjoy.
So what's up, everybody? Episode 13 of Table Cheese. I'm here. I'm back. I was out sick.
It's good to have you back, man. I'm D of FTO Nerd Talk. Ready to do this. Ready to go hard. Like if you guys heard the previous episode of FTO Podcast, I talked about how Anton was sick, telling his business out there to the world. COVID.
Yeah.
COVID struck, man. Struck hard.
That's a problem with, like, I went 3 years without catching COVID once. Like, I was super safe, always wearing a mask, always carrying hand sanitizer, and, like, it was just to the point, like, so I got my initial 2 vaccine shots early because I was working more so in healthcare back then. And then so I was able to get my first booster earliest on. And so, but the fact, like, this year I had gotten a lot more loose with it. I was like, if I were to, like, actually get sick at this point, like, it wouldn't necessarily be as detrimental as it would have been, like, you know, leading into the wedding and, like, stuff earlier on. So, like, I really, the second half of this year have, like, eased up on it. But I think I'm just going to have to go back to wearing a mask everywhere. And, like, I still keep hand sanitizer in my car, but
I think it's a season too, man. Like, there are 3 variations of they call them like a triple-demic right now with RVS that's out there, the flu and COVID. So with all 3 of those things out there that's going on, that affects like all walks of people. Like, I wouldn't get too hard on yourself because it's the season. It's winter. It's like the first fall without COVID restrictions. So, like, you know, it's bound to happen. I have been seeing more and more people wear masks though. So I will throw that out there too. I have been seeing a lot more mask wearing.
Yeah, and I mean, just like being in the recovery stage right now and just seeing how I'm feeling, like, I'm gonna go back to doing it. Like, I'm not gonna. If I also understand people not wanting to wear them, like, we're kind of to the point that, like, you just gotta assess your own risk level and, like, take that risk as you see fit. I see seniors out in public, no mask, like, just out there doing what they do. So, like, they're at the highest risk and they're doing it. Like, if you're my age, you might as well. Like, we're to the point that, like, it's not necessarily as deadly and we are a lot better prepared. Like, now there are oral medications for it and stuff like that. But,
yeah. Finally.
Right. But I didn't get to talk to a doctor in time for me to be able to get what I needed to take the oral medication. So I didn't have that option. And hopefully I don't get it again, so I don't need that option.
I hope you don't. Like, you won't get it for at least another, because it's in your system for at least 3 months. So, like, you won't be able to spread it to anybody for a good while. So, I mean, that's some type of reassurance, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not super worried about it. Just, it sucked spending the entire 3 years constantly masked, like, staying safe. Like, that was a claim to fame. Like, at work, so many people have been out with COVID, and I was like, this entire time.
Did it hit you pretty hard? Like, did it feel like pretty intense for you, or was it like kind of mild in your eyes?
Oh no, it was really like 2 days of sleep. Like, I couldn't play video games. I was so sick.
Wow. Like, you know, we had tons of practice growing up as kids playing video games while you're sick.
Well,
that's kind of the go-to. So.
I remember when I was younger, like, the first time I was so sick I couldn't play video games, it was food poisoning. Like, and so, yeah. It has to be, like, pretty severe for me not to want to, like, even pick up a controller. But, you know, I'm better now. My symptoms started subsiding a few days ago, and so
we're back at it.
Yeah, back at it.
Doing the thing. I did want to talk about like a few things going on into all of this, and like one of those first things I want to talk about was Black Friday. I know you got some stuff you want to talk about too, but Black Friday has been like been rubbing in my ears, been talking to me. There's a lot of sales and stuff going on, especially for guys like us.
Oh like, yeah,
there's a HyperX microphone. It's a very good microphone, like good for gaming, good for PC gaming. That it was $160, now it's $120. Like all this stuff is at Best Buy and Amazon too, like Target. There's an Elgato Stream Deck was $150, now it's $120. I'm seeing also at Amazon and Best Buy.
Yeah, that seems to be their standard Black Friday deal. I always think about getting a Stream Deck, but that's one of those things that like I've been waiting this long to pull the trigger on it, and I might keep waiting, honestly. For Black Friday, so I haven't been on here because Black Friday deals digitally started early, and like especially in games, like I did Steam and I did PlayStation. So even though it's the day after Black Friday, I've been done with my like game shopping on Black Friday for like a week. I got another year of PlayStation Plus Premium, which it was actually $10 cheaper for me to continue my sub for another year at the premium tier than it would have been for me to downgrade to the extra tier, which was my initial plan to not pay as much. But in the end, like I ended up getting a year of premium for $10 cheaper than it would have been to get extra.
See, I've been seeing like the same kind of deal for Peacock, like streaming. Like, I do mostly TV shows and movies. So Peacock will be right up my alley with Twisted Metal coming out soon, too. I really want to watch that show. And I think that's another show coming out on Peacock that I want to get into. I think it's a video game-based TV show, too. I can't think of the name of it right now. But I know, like, Horizon coming out also pretty damn soon.
Yeah.
And, like, getting, like, those stream deals, man. That's one of my big go-tos right now. Is there any game in particular that like you want to get, or do you not really get games on discount like that?
Well, there wasn't anything that was really speaking to me. Like some of the Square Enix games from earlier this year, I did get. There was Left 4 Dead's just a game I wanted to have on Steam Deck, and they had a Valve. It was like $2 for like all the Valve games. So, and that
that's a deal, dude.
Right? Yeah. So it was just like. I think I got like 6 games total because like I had Portal and I had Half-Life and like I had Left 4 Dead 2, and so it like gave me everything that I didn't have that was like a Valve PC game of a certain era. So yeah, they just had that bundle, and so got that for like $2. I got Garfield Kart Furious Racing. I saw Wario 64, like, one of the mornings I was sick, I woke up and just, like, checked Twitter, and Wario 64 is like, it's free. And I was like, okay, I'll claim it.
So, add to the collection, right?
Yeah.
Have you heard of this Logitech G? You've heard of this before? Logitech G cloud gaming handheld console? You've heard of this before?
Yeah.
I hear bad things about it. I've nothing but negative reviews.
It's not a negative review. Your money is just better spent elsewhere. You're better off spending, because I think even on sale it's the same price as a Switch.
See, yeah, it's like $300.
So, and that's on sale or regular price? Because I know
on sale it's $300. The regular price is $350.
Oh yeah, I mean if you're getting into the $350 range on that. There's a Steam Deck. If you're in the 300 range, there's a Switch. Like, it says a lot if I'm recommending the Switch over it.
I was thinking the same thing.
So, like, I mean, it's not bad. It's just, like, not reading the room on what's out there because it came out after the Steam Deck. So, it's a more recent piece of tech, but... You can do cloud gaming on a Steam Deck, but you can also do local, like a Steam Deck is a local, powerful PC that has a lot of functionality. So
I'm looking right now to the 64 gig Steam Deck, it's literally the same price as this Logitech G.
Right, and you're better off getting that and then throwing an SD card in it and doing that. Like,
yeah,
I'd rather run Steam OS than Android, you know? Like, Android has its benefits, but, like, Steam OS, like, this is a Linux full, fat, like, capable operating system, whereas Android is a mobile operating system, so it has its shortcomings, like, in that sense.
And, like, that's, like, I hate, like, the deviate from talking about the Black Friday, but I think I got most of my Black Friday out. Can we talk about, like, the Android interface when it comes to gaming? Are you a big fan of that?
I haven't had an Android since I was 17.
Okay, so yeah, all right, there you go. All right, since my last kid was born, which is she's 5. Like, I haven't had an Android phone either. So, like, I am right there with you, man. Like, right. I wouldn't go back. I'm an Apple guy when it comes to, like, the mobile devices. If it was a console based, it would be PlayStation, or, like, you know, well, like, looking at that Steam, like, it really sold me on that as well.
Like, there are certain things that, like, Samsung in particular has done that, like, it's, like, cool, yeah, it's interesting, but, like, legitimately just, I'm in the walled garden, and it's, like, I see, yeah, emulation would be better on there, but I'm not really emulating like that. I'm, like, yeah, so, like, some of the folding phones, like, I can't wait for Apple to have a folding phone, because that's gonna be, like, amazing. But, like, I see over there, that's, like, cool tech, like folding glass and, like, being able to have a touch interface on a piece of folding glass. Like, it's cool.
Yeah,
it's novel. Like, but I'll wait for that tech to prove itself and go through its paces and get it, like, 5 years later from Apple and have it be the premium level that Apple will give it to me in. And so, I mean, just on a mobile operating sense, like, I'm an iPhone guy. I've been an iPhone guy since I turned 18. Like, it was my 18th birthday when I got an iPhone 5, and now I'm on iPhone 12, you know?
Not hating you. Like, I'm here for it. All about that Apple life. Anyone can say what they want to say. Apple life is a good life. It's a fun time.
Yeah.
I'm picking sides.
I mean, like, for me, I've had Android tablets because I'm like, you know, Android tablets, you'll get, like, a crazy deal and get one for, like, $100-$200. But, like, I'd rather spend that at this point on an iPad mini because, like, I've had my iPad Air since, like, 2016. Like, and I'm on the Air 2, and it just stopped getting updates. Of course, it's dead when I go to hit the button. But,
I can't disagree with you. Like, it's the accessibility to it. I have also a Android tablet. I use it primarily for reading comics. That's the only reason why I have it. It's just reading comic books. So no, I hear you completely.
For me, like, it's tied for my favorite way to read manga. It's either on my 4K screen, just, like, full screened out, just, like, as high pixel density as humanly possible, or it's on the iPad, like, just sitting, you know, scrolling through. Because, like, the volume, like, I do like reading paperback manga still. Like, I still will read something and then reread it again when it gets a physical release, but yeah, 4K screen.
You can't top that. Right. You
can't. But yeah, on the gaming front, since I'm back on the sticks now, back at full power, I beat God of War Ragnarok.
There it is. I've been trying to watch it online, trying to get, like, the end to the story, but you finished it. What was it like?
That game is awesome. There are moments in that game that 10 out of 10, like, for Kratos to, and I talked about this moment, like, no spoilers, I'm not going to say what it is, like, that causes this, like, Kratos is stoked. Like, Kratos gets excited about something in the course of the story of God of War Ragnarok, and that is, like, top video game moments of all time. Seeing Kratos be like, hell yeah, like, yeah.
Wow. I have not. Wow. So, well then, I've seen some more of this game. Like I saw like interaction with characters that we didn't see in the first game.
Oh yeah.
And
The cast of this game, like the performance capture, some of the performances of like, well, honestly, everybody, every single character,
all of them, top tier.
Like, I'm glad I voted Christopher Judge for best performance, but like,
boy,
whoever played Odin, like,
yeah, he was skeevy, dude. He did a good skeevy kind of bossy type character. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, just the entire cast, Agraboda, I think's her name.
Having Thor show up inside there too, it'd be like the guy from Sons of Anarchy. Yeah. Good job, really good job. I was nervous about how they were going to portray Thor. They definitely gave him like a biker vibe for sure.
Gave him drunk, like the fact that he's not. They didn't try and MCUify anything. Like even the things that they have 1-to-1 with the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
Like I wouldn't want to beat the shit out of Heimdall, the MCU version.
No,
the God of War version.
he needs a couple of licks. He needs a couple.
That's like on site, like square up.
And it's like giving those haymakers, man. That's all there is to it. You got to see some giants inside this too. So like you got to see like I wouldn't say so much frost giants, but definitely giants inside of this. Like again, not give away any spoilers, but they do go a lot deeper into like the Norse mythology, and it's a vibe, man.
That is kind of like one of the aspects that I've like really appreciated about the game is like the better use of the Norse stuff. Like there's a lot of cool stuff in Norse mythology, and like Norse mythology is not like the one I'm most versed in. I'd say it'd probably be Greek.
Agreed.
Right, but like what I do know of Norse mythology. Speaking of which, did you watch Primal?
Primal, the Gennady Tartakovsky show on Cartoon Network. I saw the first season. I didn't get to finish all of it.
Okay, well then, I'd say watch season 2. Season 2 is really fucking good.
Okay, I'll check it. Is that one of the shows that Warner Bros. Discovery got rid of? It's still part of the whole HBO Max family, right?
I feel like it's still there.
All right, we'll see, right?
I mean, I finished season 2 and haven't been on HBO Max for much lately because Last of Us is still pretty far out, and
it's January.
Game of Thrones is over, so like
no need for me to be here.
Right, like Harley Quinn's over, or
yeah. The season's over for that too, you're right.
Right. Like everything that I was Primal, the second season's over. Like everything that I was going to HBO Max for is either over or on the way. So been in my Hulu bag lately.
I've been going to Paramount Plus. That's what I've been going to. But God of War, man, like you got to see some Valkyries inside of it.
Oh, there's. So I don't know if I can. This is not really a spoiler. We talked about this on Chessy Controller, but the way that they frame the story of this one, the Valkyries were like a high-level boss fight in the first one. There were like all the Valkyries were like in the world. You at a set location, you'd go there, you'd fight the Valkyries, and there was like a trophy. So like everybody who platinumed the game went and beat the Valkyries, but they were optional as far as the story went. So like I beat 2018 and then put it down, and so I didn't go back and fight. I think I tried to do one Valkyrie fight, like got my ass handed to me and was like, nope, not doing this. So, but the canon of Ragnarok is that you, like Kratos and Atreus did everything that was in God of War 2018. even if you didn't do it. Because at first I was like, I wonder, are they like trying to read my save? I'm like, that doesn't make sense because it's a PS4 save. And it's like, is it reading my trophy data? No, because I didn't platinum it. But then, because like, I think it referenced something that I remember doing, but then it was like, oh, so just canon between 2018 and Ragnarok, whether or not you did it, Kratos and Atreus did all the side activities and all the optional content. So, yeah, Valkyries were, I feel like, a bigger part of the first game than the second game.
Intuitive. They really got like intuitive with the second game. Like I really, again, just let everyone know I have not played the game. I've only watched it being played, but like I see the functionality. I see like the special moves and combos. I see like all the different side quests and tasks. I will say I didn't see as many games, like side games that we're all known for God of War. I mean, maybe I missed some, but I haven't seen like as many like puzzle activities that you see in this game. Like, may have missed some of that, or did you get to play more of the puzzle side of the God of War, or did I just not see that as I was watching it being played?
Well, yeah, I mean, there are definitely puzzles because, like, it's a combination of, like, how you use your arrows with, like, your different weapons as far as, like, and it kind of has, like, a Metroidvania-esque, like, setup to it.
Like how you put that.
Because it was like, there's a chest right there, there's a wall right here. I can see the chest right there, but I don't know what the fuck to do to this wall. I throw my axe at it, nothing happens. I use my blades on it, nothing happens. I use my arrows on it, nothing happens. Like, okay, I guess I'll come back. I want that chest, but no,
I've got a piece somewhere.
I can't Metroidvania my way to that chest yet, so I'll go do some more Metroid and then come back and Vania that wall.
Is that you, or is that a colloquialism in the gaming community?
That's the colloquialism. Like Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and Super Metroid are two games where it's like they kind of establish the like you get to this wall that you need a special item to use on this wall.
Yeah,
and it'll usually be like a weapon. And so it'll be like you need to upgrade your blaster so you can blast through the thick blocks. But yeah, Super Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night are the two games that are like credited with like starting that as a genre in games. And so now Metroidvanias are a dime a dozen, but like they're the good ones, and so it's like Dead Cells, Hollow Knight. Like, a lot of these modern, like, really highly regarded platformers take a lot of inspiration. They take it more than from, like, Mario or, like, Mega Man. Because, like, there are the Mega Man likes, there are the Mario likes, but those take their inspiration more from the Super Metro. I mean, like, there's Zelda likes. Like, there's 100 games out there that are just Link to the Past. Like top down,
mobile, PC and console. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Metroidvania is like when you want to refer to a game like that, Guacamelee, Severed, like even Metroid Dread is a Metroidvania.
Yeah.
There hasn't, and that whole generation of like GBA and DS, Castlevania games, those are all Metroidvanias, but we just haven't had a Castlevania game in a long time, and I'm scared of what a Konami will do. I just want them to make the anime into a game. Like, take that and, like, just make a solid Metroidvania that is just the anime, the Netflix show. But I'm scared. I don't trust Konami to do it.
Give it like an Avid Children kind of vibe. Oh, yeah.
It'd be hard to monetize. And so, like, Konami's back, and they're doing a lot of stuff. But a lot of the stuff they're doing, it's like, they brought back Bomberman, but they brought back Bomberman as a free-to-play online multiplayer battle royale thing.
I remember that.
And so, like Yu-Gi-Oh, they can easily monetize Yu-Gi-Oh. Like, the Yu-Gi-Oh game is good, I'll give them that, but, what is it, Master Duel? I feel like that's a 2022 game, and I'm already starting to fucking forget all about Master Duel.
COVID does that to you, man. Just so you know, COVID will mess with your head a little bit. So don't beat yourself up too much. There, we are getting that new Castlevania TV show. It's the sequel to the one that we had previously. So, and as we've been seeing lately, like with Uncharted, Horizon, Last of Us, Metroid, Mega Man, all those different games that have been coming out, been making redux. They've been like bringing out old versions of games, just like the
but none of those are Konami.
Yeah,
Konami.
Yeah, you're right. They are not. So like, that does leave like
Capcom does it, like Sega does it, like all the because it would be like CD Projekt Red does it, and like
doing it right now with Witcher,
BioWare, the Mass Effect, like they're trying to do Mass Effect and Dragon Age shows. Like Western companies are doing this, but like Eastern companies are doing a lot too. Like we're getting like Persona animes and like things based off games, and so, but just not Konami. That's the problem.
but to say all that, like this may be like the prime time for them too, like to give us like a secret hidden gem for Castlevania, since the show is coming out. I don't think we have like a release date. I think it's March. I'm not entirely sure when the new Castlevania show is coming out. But
if there were a Castlevania game coming in March and it were something to really pay attention to, we would already know about it. That's where my concern is.
Gotcha. I get you. And I feel that. I mean, you do raise a good point there as well. So yeah.
Considering we're going into December now, like the Game Awards, but also Konami and the Game Awards kind of got beef because Jeff Keighley and Kojima are actually like cool with each other.
Oh no, I get you. So
yeah, I mean, and then there's really no other, like, unless they just come out of nowhere and drop it. And I mean, I hope for a good Castlevania game. It could be a Lord of Shadow style game. It could be the later on 3D ones that people don't even like that. I just want it to be good. Whatever it is. Like, whatever incarnation of Castlevania we get in a game form, I feel like we're overdue, because Bloodstained came in and was just Castlevania for like a few years there. Like, I can see us getting another Bloodstained game because it's like some of the people who originally created Castlevania. But like, I feel like Konami could just go. Oh, somebody said God of War, and I was like, that's not the name of that game.
that sounds like an adult video. What that sounds like.
Oh no, never mind. My mind just spiraled off. We're gonna just move on to this next story.
The beauty of going live and having audiences like talk to us while we're doing this. It's always a fun time. I'm trying to find like Nocturnum, and it's like seeing when that comes out. I don't have a release date for when this comes out. I see nothing for when this comes out.
Well, the next thing that I had was Pokemon Scarlet and Violet released since the last time we recorded. And it's a train wreck. Whew, boy, I've seen some bad video games in my time, but none of them have been Pokemon. Like, this generation is just not.
The fans have been going nuts about how bad this is. This is glitchy. Wasn't the frame rate off?
This is the first Pokemon generation I'm skipping. Like, I don't think I can do it. Like, I wasn't there day one. Like, didn't pre-order it, and like, this is the first time in a long. The last time I skipped a Pokemon game, it wasn't even a whole generation. It was just the second part of Gen 5. Like, I was Pokemon'd out when Gen 5 happened. But I was there when Gen 6 started, was there when Gen 7 started, was there when Gen 8 started. But this Gen 9, this is like inexcusable.
Why don't you give us a lowdown of what it is that's going on with this new Pokemon?
The game's running at like 12 frames per second if we're being generous. Like, it's 24 frames per second, but as the game, you probably, like, and then the logic of the game is tied to the frame rate. So, like, the game itself just slows to a crawl, like, being crushed under the weight of, like, just its own existence. It's the pop-in is terrible. Like, the game's just not well optimized whatsoever. I'm sure a good part of it, because people have run it on an emulator on a PC and it's running better than the Switch, of course. But like unoptimized still, like people have run it on the Steam Deck, and usually if the problem is just a hardware problem, emulating it on a Steam Deck would ameliorate that, but it doesn't even do that because the game is so poorly optimized. So running it on a Switch emulator on the Steam Deck doesn't even solve the problems, which shows that it's not just a Switch problem. Like, the game is just... And I mean, this isn't going to affect their sales whatsoever. Like, it sold more than God of War. And God of War is a mastercraft in video games. Like, the graphics, amazing, the frame rate, rock solid 60. Like, I put it on performance mode and played it on my 4K monitor, and I wasn't like, oh, the anti-aliasing. Like, no, it was a great game, amazing visuals, like excellent gameplay, like decades of lineage at this point, like, because there are references all the way back to the first game, and like his old family, and like references to him being a Spartan and like stuff like that. So we have this lineage with this character, and like the fact that God of War for just $10 more, like as far as like the game itself, is just...
You mean Ragnarok, right?
Yeah, God of War Ragnarok.
Okay. I thought you meant like 2018. We're going like...
Well, I mean, even 2018. Like, if you play 2018 on a PS5 right now, it's running at 60 frames per second. And you're not having, like, this level... Because it's not just the frame rate. It's not just the resolution. It's not just the pop-in. It's bugs, too. It's just buggy as crap. Like...
Docking problems, I hear also, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So, docking your system is supposed to... Like, when you're playing the Switch handheld, your CPU is throttled so your system doesn't get too hot and it doesn't degrade itself over time. When it's in a dock, they, like, kick in the cooling to full blast and allow the system on a chip to run, like, less inhibited than it does in handheld mode. So... The fact that it's technically more powerful in that state and the game runs worse. Because it's like, oh, higher resolution? Fuck that. Your frame rate's going to eat it for that. How dare you? So, yeah. And like, did you see the bug that if you're playing it in handheld mode on the Switch and then you connect a Pro Controller and you hit forward on both the thumbsticks, you move twice as fast?
That I haven't seen, but that sounds what the hell?
This Pokemon generation is a mess. I am completely skipping it. I can't spend money. Like, it's too much good stuff going on. Like, I'm ready for Crisis Core Reunion. That's just a remake of a PSP game, and
you see, I was gonna ask you a question about this. I was gonna ask you a question about, like, you know, do you think this is gonna hurt the Pokemon franchise? But like, after you hear what you said about the sales, and I looked into it, like, it is 10 million sales, and God of War Ragnarok has 5.1 million copies. That's been out for since November 13th, so that's been out for 2 weeks now.
Well, and Pokemon is the 18th, so Pokemon's been over a week now as well.
Okay,
but so they were within a week. They were the same week. It was like
same week. Yeah.
Wednesday was God of War, and then Friday was Pokemon, and Pokemon has like outpaced God of War like insanely. So like, it's selling, so they're not going to get the right message from this. Like, they're not reading the memes online. They're not watching the bug compilation videos. They're not.
Why would they? They got 10 million copies in their pocket.
Right. And I mean, they honestly got to get to work on the next one, because like, that's the thing with Pokemon generations. Like, even when they do side games and spin-off games, Like, they have to account for the anime, they have to account for the card game, they have to account for, like, the competitive battle scene, like, of the video game itself. Like, they have to be introducing new Pokemon and new mechanics and new, like, it's not like they put this out and they're just rolling in the money. Like, nah, they are back. Like, it's like the Call of Duty thing. It's just a lot more people are working on Call of Duty than are working on Pokemon.
Yeah.
It's multiple studios, but like, and Pokemon does have multiple studios, but like, Game Freak just put out Legends Arceus earlier this year. And it's like, while they were working on both the games in tandem, and when all the Legends Arceus people finished and were able to get put on to Scarlet and Violet, like, it just wasn't. And I'm sure delaying the game, like, if this were an isolated thing, like, if they needed to delay God of War Ragnarok, that wouldn't have fucked up the God of War Ragnarok card game and the God of War Ragnarok anime and the God of War, like, it's not affecting any of that stuff, where Pokemon it is.
This is the fastest selling game.
In the franchise, yeah. And Pokemon's like the number one IP, most valuable IP in the world, so like
ever. This is like Pokemon Scarlet and Violet becomes the fastest selling video game exclusives ever. Like, period. This is wow. This is that as of November 24th.
I don't think it's going to keep up that momentum, honestly.
Because it's changing, because gaming is changing, or because like the game itself is just so glitchy.
Well, the game's not the best game. It's not going to be one of the ones that in 10 years somebody's like, yeah, you got to go play Scarlet and Violet. No.
No, they're not. No, they're
but
not
like right now in 2022, if you got a chance to play Heart Gold or Soul Silver, I'd say play those fucking games because they're amazing.
I don't like. I hear you. I get what you're saying. Like, I'm pretty sure like they're gonna probably fix these problems as we keep going on with this. I don't think
so.
You don't think it's gonna happen?
There hasn't been a patch. Like, God of War has gotten a few patches since launch. There hasn't been a patch for Pokemon whatsoever.
Like that's
like, I know they have DLC planned because people have data mined it and found like files associated with DLC, like Pokemon having new forms in the DLC. So, like, apparently Suicune, the Gen 2 legendary, is going to have, like, in the DLC for the games, is going to have a new form. Because Suicune's in the Pokedex, even though the game's not available in the game, like, it's a whole thing. But, yeah, judging by Sword and Shield, and judging by all these other Pokemon, like, I mean, judging by Nintendo first-party games in general, like, you get what you get. And that's it.
All right. All that aside, well, like, you being like a hardcore gamer, being a hard hardcore gamer for like 20 years plus, what does that say to you? That like the fastest selling game ever, that's also a Pokemon game, is arguably one of the worst games of 2022. What does that say to you?
It's not that's the problem. Content wise, it's not one of the worst games of 2022. The people I know who are playing the game and are like, they're like, yeah, it runs like trash. It's like buggy as all hell, but it's a really good Pokemon game. And I'm like, God damn it. Like, I have to resist playing a good Pokemon game because I can't support them putting out a shoddy product like this. But like, if all that stuff, like, were Thanos snapped out of existence right now, like, the game run at locked 60 FPS, 4K, no bugs, like, oh yeah, like, I'd be all over it.
It's interesting. It really is. It really is like to see this kind of world, see like the glitchiness of this game, and then like having to sell as fast as it is, it being Pokemon, but like it still sounds like you still.
But like, if I weren't a 28-year-old man right now, and I were even if I were an 18-year-old guy, like, where I wasn't as like tuned into this stuff as I am now, like, I've been covering games professionally for years now at this point, like, I am sensitive to frame rate. I can spot issues with resolution. Bugs, like, are more annoying. Like, a bug was something weird that happened when I was a kid, and it's like, oh, the game glitched, and keep it pushing. But now, like, a bug happens in a game, and I'm like, really? Y'all left that in there?
So like back then, you said you'd be like you probably more or less prone to being upset about something like this. You just go out and just play the game.
Right. I'm like, it's a new Pokemon game, I'm gonna play it. But now I'm like, I'm out here and I rag on other games because they like. That was one of the reasons I didn't play Gotham Knights, was because it's running at 30 frames per second. 30 frames per second would be magical on Pokemon. Like,
give me 30, not 20, but God.
Well, no,
I just saw that. That's crazy. 20 frames, like 20, like it goes like sometimes lower 20 frames. That's nuts to me.
It'll chug to the single digits frames per second. Like you can't really like accurately measure it like in handheld, but in docked mode, like Digital Foundry put it through its paces, and like Digital Foundry is just like objective. Like we don't review game content, we review games technical specifications, and it's like Pokemon is it's not looking good.
And we were talking about patches. I'm looking up currently on the website. Is there going to be any kind of patch that's coming out anytime soon? There's no news about a patch coming out anytime soon. None. Like literally nowhere is talking about a patch.
Yeah, you're not going to get that out of the Pokemon Company.
I guess you're right. Yeah. Well, why would you? Like it's Pokemon. They got a pretty high tier standard for all their games.
Well, like that's the thing. They've had high quality standards. Like this game is not held to any kind of standard. As far as the Pokemon, like it hit its release date, and that's all that the Pokemon Company cares about. There's a Pokemon game out there selling faster than any other video game right now. They're fine.
There was a DS game a while back that I remember a lot of people were talking about, and was it Soul Silver that didn't do so hot back in the day?
I don't know. I was a kid when Soul Silver came out, and I loved that game.
I know there was one game back in the DS era that was Pokemon that came out, and like it had like the same kind of errors that like that's going on right now, and like I feel like it reminds me of this. I just can't remember what it was. It's been so long. It was back during the GameCube era.
I can't even like, because like people have, so I know like the DS games, the 3DS games didn't even support 3D because it was too taxing just to run the game with 3D polygonal models instead of 2D sprites. So like it didn't support like the stereoscopic 3D aspect because it used all its rendering power on like rendering 3D models of Pokemon and characters.
Well, one day we got to come back and talk about like your least favorite Pokemon games. I feel like that would be a whole episode right there.
Least favorite Pokemon game.
It'll be, see, there we go. We got to think about it. We got to put some pen to paper. Got to talk it out. Got to make a whole episode about the top Pokemon game. Like there's so many. There's so many like that to put.
Yeah, and I've played most of them. Like I've played, like, and I mean, if we're just talking core, because the worst Pokemon game is not a core RPG. Like there are the RPGs, but then there are the puzzle games. They're like, I'm pretty sure, like honestly, like Pokemon Dream Radar is probably like the worst Pokemon game. But that's not like, that is a game with a Pokemon skin. It's like an augmented reality 3DS camera bullshit thing. Like,
I'm assuming X and Y would probably be your favorite.
X and Y, I didn't finish. So, Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire are probably my favorites.
The most known, anyway. Yeah. The most recognizable game, for sure.
Well, I mean, that like Gen 3 was my favorite growing up. Like, I really liked Gen 3. And then getting a Gen 3 remake on 3DS with all, like, the, like, newer systems that X and Y gave, like, as far as, like, Pokemon games, especially recently, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, hands down. Like, I started a replay of Alpha Sapphire just because one day. Like, we were recording the podcast and we were talking about Pokemon. And I was looking at, like, some of, like, the anime stuff they did. Like, they did anime trailers with, like, original animation of, like, the Gen 3 trainers and some Gen 3 Pokemon. I was like, God, I love Gen 3. So, started up, like, got a copy of Alpha Sapphire and started up a playthrough of that. Because originally when I played that gen, I only played Omega Ruby. Because I played Ruby as a kid. And like the original Ruby is superior to Sapphire, but Alpha Sapphire is superior to Omega Ruby. As a Ruby fan, I have to admit it.
There you go. You heard it here first. There it is. Giving his lowdown. Whew. I thought I had some more news to talk about. Oh, Elon Musk said that is copying what Zuckerberg did and saying that Twitter is going to be going gaming sometime soon. I honestly...
Well, apparently they fired the person that ran Twitter Gaming. Or the person that ran Twitter Gaming left Twitter, so... I mean, whatever. Cool. Sure. What does that even...
I don't know. I don't know what that will look like.
Because from my console, I will tweet video clips and screenshots and like I already tweet from my system. Like I share my gameplay and my gaming from my system to Twitter all the time. So what is that? I can share from my Switch to Twitter. What does Twitter going gaming even mean? That's just, you said some words there.
Hey, I don't know what the fuck it means.
That's not at you. That is more frustration with Elon Musk and just like, bro, I can tell you're a genius, but also you're an idiot. Like,
yeah, man. But I don't think he is a genius. I think he knows like what a good deal is at times. I think that's all. Like he knows what a good deal is. He hops on it and he capitalizes. I don't think he's as much of a genius.
Well, I mean, like the thing is, like he just bought Twitter because he could. He didn't necessarily buy Twitter with like having a vision for like what Twitter. It's like you bought Twitter because you felt like it.
And it made some money at first. But now all his advertisers are leaving.
Everything is going down the drain. Like he's losing money on all fronts, but doesn't like it's so rich he doesn't have to care.
Well, no, he doesn't. You're right. He doesn't have to care. You're absolutely right about that. He doesn't have to care. But he's gonna start losing more money about this, and more people are gonna leave. I've already just made myself a Hive account because I don't want to be on Twitter anymore. So
I was looking at downloading Hive because
I thought about Mastodon, but like it's impossible to get onto their server. So like,
ain't happening.
Like no thank you. It's like impossible to get onto your server. I'm not playing this game. No thank you.
So Hive is the one that looks like Microsoft Teams, or is okay?
Have had a baby with Instagram. Yeah,
okay,
that's exactly it. And like it looks like that, and how Bumble. Like the Bumble dating app. It looks like all those things combined. That's exactly what it looks like. And all the cosplayers I've been seeing have been made the transition. All the artists and cosplayers already on there.
Yeah, a lot of games media is on here. So
yeah, I already made my transition.
Twitter, I'm still on Twitter. I'm still getting news from Twitter. I'm
on it too. I'm taking a break though.
Still scrolling art. Like, not posting to Twitter. Like, I get in our position, but like the average
dude, like that's why I'm still a part of it. Like it's because of that very reason. It's like because
we're content creators, so we kind of like we're like internet personalities. So being active on the internet is like kind of part of the gig.
But I wanted to leave. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was ready to hit that deactivate button so fast. Like, you know what? I'm thinking about this for a second. I got my whole like foundations based on this. Like Google's attached to this. Like I probably shouldn't just like uproot, just take off. Like this may not be the best idea for me. So I had to think about it. Ask people. People said just take a break, keep doing your thing. Like this too shall pass. So
yeah, I mean, I just hope we get to a point where either Hive is like, I don't know. because now Twitter has been disrupted. If Twitter had not been tampered with, Twitter would have been fine. Like, it had its issues. The internet has its issues. Yeah. Everywhere has its issues. But, like, Twitter had, like, a collection of people that I was interested in hearing what they had to say, seeing what they had to post, like, and
interested and respected, yeah.
Right. And so, and it wasn't like a thing of I had to convince people. Like, I still have to convince people to use Discord. Like, even though Discord's a better social media platform for, like, people like me who, like, are into gaming and into, like, and it's not just for gaming. Like, that's the thing. Like, it started off as a thing for gamers, but, like, through the pandemic has just become, like, a social media platform for everything. But I have to convince people to use Discord. I would see people and they'd just have their Twitter in their lower thirds on, like, whatever podcast I'm watching or whatever. And so it wouldn't be like a thing of I got to convince this person to use Discord to be able to communicate with them. Like, just everybody was on Twitter. But now that it's been interrupted and, like, taken over by an evil genius.
A troll man. Yeah.
A troll man.
Yeah. Like, I hear you. I agree with all those points. I don't have much to say about that. Like, I do. Dude could have just, like, you know, did his stuff behind the scenes. He didn't have to, like, go all Trumpian about it and, like, impose everything he was going to do. None of that was necessary. Could have just did his stuff, like, remove the guidelines, like, fire some people. We never had to know about any of that kind of stuff. But, like, here we are talking about it on a daily like he's Kanye West or some shit. Like, it's getting old, man. It really is. It's a distraction, if anything else. It's a distraction. Okay. Shit, I gotta vote today.
Well,
speaking of distraction, today is early voting. If you're listening to this today, if you live in Georgia, make sure you vote. Only weekend for early voting. Only weekend.
Well, yeah, I think I might go Friday because Friday I get off. Or depending.
My kids go back to school Monday, so I'll just do it on Monday.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah. I got that 9 to 5 life, so.
Yeah, I know. It's not easy with that.
All right.
Is that the show?
Yeah.
We got it? We're done? All right. That's a whole hum ending there. Just go with the flow. I feel good.
Well, I haven't hit stop yet, so remember you can follow me around the internet, ChessyController-Podcast.com. D, where can people find you?
You can find me at FTO Nerd Talk. Wherever you find FTO Nerd Talk, right now I'm on Hive. So make sure you go to Hive and follow me on that. I need more followers. I got 12. I need more than 12.
I'll make it like 13 once I set up Anton Sixxx.
There you go. Gotta be the very best. I should make another account. We'll see what happens. But yeah, make sure you follow me everywhere FTL is found. I will be at the Tech and Chill tonight, the November 26th. So if you're there, if you're watching this on Twitch and you hear this, meet me there.
Yeah, meet up. I won't be there because I'm recovering from COVID, but...
Yeah, don't you show up. You stay at home, dude.
Yeah. I'm going to be right here. I got to go eat some food because I've been podcasting for like 3 hours back to back now. So...
You're a bad dude, man. You're a bad dude. Keep it up. I like the hustle.
Okay. Until next time, take it
easy.
And keep it cheesy.
I got you. Hey guys, D here of FTO Nerd Talk. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, tell your friends about FTO Nerd Talk. Got a lot of different shows for all of you. Make sure you tune in every week for a brand new episode. Take it easy.